hundreds of miles away from the Pacific Ocean. And one thing you might not think of when you think of the high desert is seafood. And that's exactly what one new restaurant is bringing to Bend's West Side. Let's check it out. The name Sea Crab House, Sea is an acronym, S-E-A.
S-E-A, yeah.
So what does that stand for?
So Sea is Southeast Asians. I'm from Thailand, and this is my favorite foods. I used to live in New York, California, Pennsylvania, and I always go, like, I would drive 3 hours for food.
You'll drive for the seafood.
Yeah.
It's seafood with a Thai twist, taking traditional methods and using them in the kitchen. Is this kind of a more traditional Thai way of cooking seafood?
That's how we cook seafood in Thailand, actually. It's like we clean everything, we open it all up, and just make sure like it's fresh meat, only meat going to the water.
Owners Kim and Pata adding their own flavor to every bite.
I'm a very certain way of cooking, even when I do Thai food. Like when I make pad Thai, I need to make the pad Thai the way that I eat it in Thailand. So it needs to be like the right ingredients and everything, and that's how we are.
It's not your everyday fresh crab cocktail that you'll find on the menu. We're talking seafood boils, and the owners are excited to expand their restaurants into Central Oregon. What is going on in front of you?
Today we're gonna serve on the sausage from Louisiana. It's hot and spicy. Crawfish, mussel, clam, and shrimp with the head on.
Those are just a few of the things that you can have the cook throw into your boil, but of course we can't forget about the guys in the saltwater tank. It's all fresh and made to order.
And made to order.
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean it's just, they put in their custom order, you guys do it right here on the spot, and you have live, fresh seafood.
Yeah, and then lobster, sometimes we could run, we start a lobster as small as like 1.5 pounds, and we have, the biggest one we carry is like 7-pound lobsters.
Oh.
And then Dungeness crab is pretty like certain types, so there are 1.5 pounds, 2 to 3 pounds. And once in a while, we're gonna have a live king crab, and they're usually start from like 10 to 15 to 25 pounds king crab.
Sure.
And that's why it's king crab.
Whatever you decide to include, it all goes into the boiler. So yeah, you were talking about boil concept. I thought it was a fryer at first for like French fries, but you put seasoning into it.
Yeah, it's basically we want the consistent temperature, so we need to kind of like using the equipment. So it's basically the same concept as the fryer, but we don't use the oil, we use the water, and that's how we can keep consistent water, and then we can time the seafood, and then can cook it just right. It's like if you put it too long, it's overcooked. If you don't cook enough, it's raw. So that's the tricky part about seafood too.
What's in here? What's next to the butter?
This is the original Cajun sauce. It's our $1 million recipe.
Can you give me a hint as to what's inside it? Okay, so
It's
the original
basically
Cajun sauce.
a lot of seasoning, butters, and then Thai herb that I was talking about.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Look at all that seafood coming out of that bucket.
okay, let's go eat.
Oh my gosh, yes, let's. We boiled it, we sauced it, it sat in a sack. Do you let it sit there for a little bit in the bag to kind of soak up all the juices?
we're supposed to bring it out right away.
Just bring it out
like
right
the
away?
more you keep it in there, the more the meat's still cooking. So we don't want it to turn overcooked, of course.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
okay, so it is fresh, it's right out the gate, and now there are amazing looking fishbowl drinks. The menu doesn't stop at seafood boils and fun libations. Crab cakes, lobster rolls, clam chowder, oysters, and more are there to enjoy. Oh, you got it dripping in sauce. Okay, so then, did I do this right? Let's see, did I even get there? Oh my gosh, this is very interactive. Now this is when it's okay to play with your food.
Yep.
This is okay. With 2 locations on the Oregon coast, you can now also find Sea Crab House on the west side of Bend.